নমস্কার, স্পটার নিউজে আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগত। আমি সাগর। এই মুহূর্তে আপনাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছি পূর্ব বর্ধমান ডিস্ট্রিক্ট থেকে, তারই একটা গ্রাম সাতগাছিয়া থেকে। সাতগাছিয়া উচ্চ বিদ্যালয়ে আজকে ক্লাইভ লয়েড উপস্থিত হয়েছিলেন। আমরা যেমনটা জানি, ক্লাইভ লয়েড কিন্তু একটা বড় নাম, ক্রিকেটে বড় নাম, ওয়েস্ট ইন্ডিজের দুবার বিশ্বকাপ জয়ী ক্রিকেটার। তিনি কিন্তু কলকাতা সফরে এসেছিলেন। প্রথমে আমরা দেখেছিলাম একটা কলকাতার মাস্তারা হোটেলে উপস্থিত হয়েছিলেন ৮ মাসের অনুষ্ঠানে। তারপরে আজকের আবার উপস্থিত হয়েছিলেন সাতগাছিয়া স্কুলে। সেখানে কিন্তু বেশ কিছুক্ষণ তিনি সময় কাটালেন। তিনি স্টুডেন্টদের উজ্জীবিত করার জন্য বেশ কিছু কথাও জানালেন। খেলাধুলোর ভালো দিকটাও তিনি তুলে ধরলেন, খেলাধুলো করলে কি কি হয়। পাশাপাশি আলোচনা করেছিলেন ভারতীয় দলের এক ঝাঁক তারকাদের নিয়ে। এখন কে তার মতে সব থেকে ভালো ব্যাটসম্যান তিনি জানিয়েছেন। গিলের নাম তিনি অবশ্যই নিয়েছেন। শুভমান গিল যে ছন্দে বিশ্বকাপে ব্যাট করেছে, আর যে রকমের ক্রিকেটার তিনি, তার নামটা তো তিনি নিয়েছেন। পাশাপাশি আইআর এর নামও তিনি নিয়েছেন, বিরাট কোহলির নাম নিয়েছেন, রোহিত শর্মার নাম নিয়েছেন, আর পাশাপাশি তিনি গাভাস্কারের নাম নিয়েছেন। আর এই বন্ধু গাভাস্কার সেই সময় ভালো ব্যাটসম্যান তিনি উল্লেখ করেছেন। আর পাশাপাশি তিনি জিজ্ঞেস করা হয়েছিল তাকে যে 1983 সালের সেই মুহূর্ত যখন কপিল দেবের নেতৃত্বে ভারত প্রথম বিশ্বকাপ জিতেছিল, আর সেখানে ক্লাইভ লয়েড খুব কাছ থেকে, ওয়েস্ট ইন্ডিজের অধিনায়ক ছিলেন, খুব কাছে গিয়েও বিশ্বকাপ ছোঁয়া হয়নি। তো সেই যখন কথাটা জিজ্ঞেস করা হয়, তিনি কিন্তু জানিয়েছেন, আমি এখনো সেই কথাটা যখনই শুনি আবার কিন্তু কান্না পাই যে এত কাছে গিয়েও ছোঁয়া হয়নি। তবে তিনি জানিয়েছেন সেই সময় থেকে কিন্তু ভারতীয় ক্রিকেটের উত্থান শুরু, ভারতীয় ক্রিকেটের ভালো সময় শুরু হয়। ভারতীয় ক্রিকেট আস্তে আস্তে আরো উন্নতি করেছে, আর ভবিষ্যতেও আরো উন্নতি করবে। যে ধরনের ক্রিকেটার ভারতের এই মুহূর্তে দলের মধ্যে রয়েছেন, এই সমস্ত কথা জানিয়েছেন। তবে তিনি আরো বিশদে কি জানিয়েছেন, পাশাপাশি কি আলোচনা হয়েছেন, প্রথমে শুরুটাই করলাম 1983 সেই মুহূর্ত দিয়ে। 1983 সেই মুহূর্তে তিনি কি বলেছেন, যখন তিনি প্রশ্ন করেছিলাম তিনি ঠিক কি জানিয়েছেন, সেটা প্রথমে শুনুন, তারপরে আস্তে আস্তে শুনে নিন। পুরো প্রেস কনফারেন্সে, সাতগাছিয়া স্কুলে যে পুরো প্রেস কনফারেন্স, সাংবাদিকদের মুখোমুখি হয়ে ভারতীয় ক্রিকেট, তার বন্ধু গাভাস্কার, বিরাট কোহলি, রোহিত শর্মা, শুভমান গিল, আইয়ারদের নিয়ে কি বললো, সেই সমস্ত বিষয়ে আপনারা একবার শুনে নিন।
Sir, I'm Sagar from Spotter News. What you will say about 1983 memories? Sir, this side. What you will say about 1983 memories? You lost the World Cup and India won the World Cup in Kapil Dev captaincy. So, what you will say about 1983 memories?
I'm still crying. No, it's all right. I think India played much better than we did on the day. And where one day cricket is concerned, is who plays well on the day, and they did. And the good thing about it is that it gave India that impetus to tell to the world, rest of the world, that they too can play good one-day cricket. And it started from here, so we were quite happy about that. We were disappointed that we didn't win, but that's what life is all about. You win some, you lose some. But look at India now; they're one of the top sides where one-day cricket is concerned, and they're doing very, very well throughout the world.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, can you sit down, please? No, please carry on.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Shurit Chattopadhyay from Frontline magazine of the Hindu group. I want to ask you a question about the, return to the topic of captaincy. You inherited the legacy of Frank Worrell, and then down the ages, you've seen different captains right till the present moment. Have you observed any change or any, improvisation to the approach towards captaincy down the ages?
Well, I must say, now when you have a cricket team, you have 28 or 29 people. When I was captain, we did at one stage it was just myself and the manager and the 14 players. We couldn't afford any more players. So now you have a batting coach, bowling coach, fielding coach. Some of them even have a priest. And I, as captain, I had to, you're chairman of selectors. You ran the nets, you ran the practice session, you spoke to the press. And I'm thinking now they owe me some money, really. But the point is that when you became captain of the West Indies team, you had a role. And that role was to get those 14 islands, people together thinking as one. And I watched Frank Worrell when I was quite young then. Then I played with Sir Garfield Sobers and then Ron Canai. But we didn't have that help that these guys have now. So you have to create your own discipline. For instance, we had curfews. They never had that before. You had to get in at a particular time, and if you didn't, you got fined. If you were late for the bus, you had 10 minutes grace. So you had to be there on time. So the discipline had to be not only on the field, it's off the field. And then we had players that roomed together. So I made sure that a Trinidad, would room with a Barbadian, the Jamaican with a Guyanese, that sort of thing. So that they got to know one another's culture, and they became roommates of such. And we kept them as long as possible, but we rotated them, as often as we can. So it was not a situation where you just had these players and they became great. 98% of the players that played on me had never played a test match. So you had to get their trust of such, because if you weren't from their island, they probably thought that, well, is he going to pick all the majority of his people from the island? So trust was important, and that trust is it's earned. So the point is, being captain of the West Indies is by far much more difficult than any other country, because all the other countries are just one country. Pakistan is one country, India is one country, Australia is one country, Sri Lanka is one country, New Zealand is one country, and so it was hard work, but it was rewarding. At the end, if you were 17 years old, you'd have never seen the West Indies lose. We won 6 World Cups, and we only have 5 million people in different walks of life. So we have a lot of things to be proud of, really. And it's given me my upward mobility. So I have to respect the game of itself that has given me that. And I hope I've passed that on to the players.
Or it should be like, experience also should be considered, like the likes of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Considering it should, West Indies is one of the organizers and the pitches of West Indies.
Well, this is the second time we're having a tournament of this nature, and we're sharing it with USA. And I think it could be quite exciting. I think that, traveling around the West Indies and USA would be pretty good. We didn't qualify for the last World Cup, so I'm hoping that we do for this one. It was a bit of a shock for us that we didn't. But yes, I think it would be quite exciting, and I hope that a lot of people do turn up, because we now have a lot more hotels. We'll be better organized, I would think, for this World Cup.
So my question was like, considering the features of West Indies, like, what should be the selection criteria? What should be the primary selection criteria for the players? Like, should youth be given priority? The present performance being given priority, or experienced players like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli also should be considered while declaring the team?
Well, I think that you want to pick your best team. You can't just fill them with youthful players. You'll need experience. Kohli's still one of the best players around. So you pick your best team. I would think so. And or you'll have some young players too, because you have so many cricketers here, and they're pushing the older players, and that's how it should be. But I'm sure that you will have a very formidable side.
Just you get up.
Indian batsman and why?
You mean in India?
In India, from your era to now.
Yeah, I like the little fella Gill. He looks a good cricketer. And area, is it Ira something? IYER? I don't want to bite my tongue here because, no, but India do have a lot of good cricketers at the moment, I must say. And I think what I like about it is they have a much more balanced side. They have good fast bowlers now, and they're getting wickets anywhere in the world. They have good spinners. They're very agile. Yes, I think they're a very good side, and they will do well for quite a while if they continue in this manner. But my problem is that they might be playing too much cricket, and then you can get stale. But India do have a lot of people, so there's obviously they can have 2 or 3. They can rest players if they want. So they're well served in that area.
And what your friend Sunil Gavaskar? Do you believe that he is the best Indian batsman forever?
Sanil is a great friend of mine, except when he's batting. But no, he's one of the greats of all time. There's no doubt about that. He's made runs all over the world, and he's well loved throughout the world. So yes, he's one of your greatest players. You mean the present captains throughout the world?
Throughout the world.
Yeah, I think they're quite astute, quite a few of them. Gary Rohit is quite good. And I think when, who else we had? The guy in Pakistan at the moment is not doing as well. But he has a good team, and I'm sure that he would get better. New Zealand, their captain seemed to be all right. The England captain struggled a little bit. He's a member of Mike County, Butler. Yes, I think the point about it is that there's so many different games now you have to play. T20, there's 50 overs, there's a test match. It's very difficult to be a captain with all 3 disciplines. It is very taxing on you as a person. So now they have 2 captains instead of 1. But I would think that they all do very well at the moment with the load of work that they have. I think too, it's the traveling that it's a lot of traveling if you want to play in all those disciplines, really. But at the moment, I think I have no problem with it.
Format is literally growing every day. Do you think there's some secret to keep kids hooked to cricket more towards red ball cricket, probably because that is the basics of cricket? Or do you think T20 is the only future of cricket going on now?
I think the point is that I've always said that the T20 is an exhibition and the test cricket is an examination. I can only sort of find out how good you are if you're playing the longer game. If you only have to bowl 4 overs or bat 20 overs, I don't think I can assess how good you are. I don't mind the T20. It's excellent. It's good entertainment, but I think too much of it might hamper some of your players. Because if you notice, although you have some very good players, a lot of them are going down to slip quite often because they're looking to play too many shots. And Indian batsmen of late, and the Gavaskar era, concentration, Tendulkar, these are guys who when they set, it's very difficult to get them out. Our young players, unfortunately, I think, they think that they have to have the flair to get into the big money. And I think it might be spoiling them a little bit. So I think too much of the one-day stuff might be hampering cricket throughout the world, because it's hampered us in the West Indies. we only have 5 million people, 14 islands, different, walks of life. And it's, if we lose, and we are losing a lot of our players to the one-day cricket, and they're refusing to play for their country, and I find that very disturbing. So we have suffered more than anybody else, because the other countries, you have 1.5 billion people. Pakistan do have quite a lot of people. England have a lot of people. Australia have a lot of people. So they can afford to lose 1 or 2 players because they can replenish those. So I think it's just hampering us a little bit. And I would prefer. I love Test cricket. There's no doubt about that. But I have nothing against the shorter form of the game, because to me, the longer form of the game helps your shorter game.
Make Gavaskar out. It was Gavaskar, the real master. That was a Calypso song also. So you saw the rise of Gavaskar, and what would you say about his comparison with Bradman?
Well, I fear that I don't like sort of comparing people with different eras. Bradman was excellent in his time. Sunil has been one of the best players for you for quite a while. He started this sort of, recognizing how great Indian players were. And yes, he's done yeoman service for India. He's one of my best friends. And he's one of the best cricketers produced by India, if not the best. Or, you'll have Tendulkar and so on, but I think that Sunil sort of showed the way for the younger players, and he was, world beater.
And to make Test cricket interesting, as you love Test cricket, do you want to see any amendment by ICC so that Test cricket gets results, not like 5-day dull cricket like that?
আরো বিভিন্ন আপডেটের জন্য চোখ রাখুন স্পট অন নিউজে।